Okay, I'm on page 10. First of all, don't remember Valentine summoning Agramon, or whatever his name is, in the beginning. Also, the opening scene is Jace, Alec, and Izzy, which is so funny. Dragon demons, like, just because you said dragon demons were extinct, I said mostly extinct. Mostly extinct, it's not extinct enough. I see, I'll just have them change the entry in the demonology textbook from almost extinct to not extinct enough for Alec. He prefers his monsters really, really extinct. Will that make you happy? Great opening, because it's just so fucking funny. Already stickied it, because it's just so funny. Also, though, Cassandra Clare keeps referring to Alec and Izzy as Jace's stepbrothers. I mean, like step-siblings. And, like, they're not step-siblings. That's when you, like, have siblings from marriage. If you adopt someone, that's, like, not a step-sibling. Like, am I crazy? Or, like, is that just wrong? It's just bugging me for some reason. Okay, I honestly don't know what format I like better. Like, I don't know if I prefer to just sit down and spend 30 minutes saying all my thoughts, or if I like to keep stopping and starting, but, you know, I feel like this is a thought that I'm gonna forget about because, I don't know, I just feel like it. First of all, I forgot that Maya had a brother named Daniel that was, like, low-key a psychopath, because she said that he, like, broke her arm and stuff, and then he gets hit by a car and dies. Completely forgot about that. Like, have no memory of that at all. Obviously, though, I was right, and this is the book she comes in. We've got an awesome scene with, like, the hunter's moon and stuff, which is great. And then she tells us all about the Jordan thing that happened, which, like, I don't know, I guess I'm not surprised you find out about that in this book, because, like, I kind of figured, but you find out about it, like, in her first introduction, which is, like, kind of interesting. Also, I didn't know that Jordan was abusive. Like, I keep saying I didn't know, but I should just, like, I forgot. Obviously I knew that he turned her into a werewolf and that he bit her and that he was, like, very possessive, but I always thought that that was, like, because he couldn't control his transformation and he got, like, bit, and then, like, he, like, confused his feelings of love. But she was saying in, like, her, like, inner monologue that he, like, used to, like, hit her when he got upset with her for things, which I just forgot about that bit of information. So, and yeah, there's this awesome scene with Jace just, like, antagonizing all the werewolves, which is, like, hilarious, that I had absolutely no memory of, but I love it because it's so Jace and it's really funny. So I'm gonna get back to reading now, but I just wanted to log this because I feel like I was gonna forget this if I didn't, so. I was gonna wait until the morning to update because this is, like, night lighting and it's not good, but it is 1:30 in the morning and I have reached the Sealy Court chapter. So now I'm like, do I stay up and keep reading? Because this is the chapter I wanted to get to. But, like, I'm kind of tired, but I low-key might stay up just to read the Sealy Court chapter. Like, if you've read this, you know that it just has to be done. It is serious. Also, the Malik right before this was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Alec texted Magnus to come, and he did. And then the fucking Inquisitor, Imogen, was like, your warlock does know. Like, and, like, called Magnus Alex Warlock in front of everyone. I said, Alex, like, he's not my warlock. It's like, yes, he is, boo-boo. Can you tell how much I love Malik? I'm literally Malik trash. I have been since 2013, and it is, like, 7/8 years later, and I'm still Malik trash, so love that for me. I wouldn't want it any other way, though, to be honest. It just means that I have taste, so. Hey everyone, I like this place to film the best, I think, because the sound is the easiest to kind of fix in editing. So that's why we're back here by my piano again. Also, the lighting is like 10 times better over here. So, City of Ashes, book number 2. You can see we've got some stickies in there. I am on page 220, so I think that's about halfway. So let me see where I left off. Oh right, something happened to Maya, and she's all injured, and Simon just became a vampire. This is where we are. So I already kind of like talked about a few things because I did some like little thoughts last night. One thing I didn't mention though is that the fact that the Inquisitor just like throws Jace in the Silent City just because he's like too sassy basically. It's just like so funny to me. Not okay obviously, but that I feel like I kind of remembered, but I didn't think the Inquisitor came in until like either City of Fallen Angels or City of Lost Souls. Also, I don't remember a lot of this book, like the majority of this book, which I know is kind of obvious by like when I was trying to predict it at the end of the last video, but I'm actually surprised about the amount of stuff I don't remember. I also love how this book is more like the, I don't want to say the monotony because it's interesting, but it's more like their day-to-day lives, and like you kind of, like in this book you really do like get to learn more about, if you like, the characters and how they think. Like it's like the first book was so like jam-packed of like action and things that were happening, and I feel like this book is almost like everyone's taking a breath. Like I know obviously bad things happen with like Simon becoming a vampire and stuff, but it's like this book lets you take a breath enough to meet Max and see people like teasing Alec for like him and Magnus, and you can like see like those little exchanges, and then like you get to meet Maris and see her interactions kind of with her kids, and you get to like learn more about Luke and like how he goes day to day like with his pack and everything, and you see how like Simon and Clary like interact and like kind of what their lives were like before this, which I really like because I like, especially once you love the characters, sometimes it's fun just to see them like kind of being relatively happy and like walking around and doing their thing. Simon and Clary get together so weirdly. Like I don't remember it being that weird. Like they literally kiss once, they don't talk about it, and then Simon's just like, I'm happy someone will be here to like make sure my girlfriend's safe, and then Clary and Luke are both like, what? It's like Simon just like decides that Clary's his girlfriend without even asking her, and then she just kind of like goes along with it, which like red flag if you ask me. I love Simon, but I'm like, that just a red flag that like this relationship isn't gonna work, which we all know it doesn't. And I definitely feel like she just goes along with it because she's like, well, this is the only other option because I can't date Jace, obviously. Further in the book, Jace actually calls her out on that, and I actually really liked that conversation between Jace and Clary when he was like being honest with how he feels about her. She's like, yeah, it doesn't matter because like we can't do anything about it, and then he basically kind of calls her out, and it's like, you're just using Simon, and like it's kind of not fair to anyone. And I'm actually thought that was a really like good conversation between them. Obviously Clary doesn't listen because she's like still with Simon, I think, low-key, but I thought it was kind of nice that even Jace like kind of said something about it. The attack on the City of Bones, I remembered that happened, but didn't remember that happened, if that makes sense. I knew that it must have happened, but I had no memory of like what exactly happened or how it went down. So that was fun to read because this book kind of feels like, in a way, reading a new book because there's just like so much stuff I didn't remember. All the little Malik interactions are super cute, just like the little like lines they throw in there of like Clary just like observing like Magnus and Alec like talking about something, or like Alec texting someone and then like Magnus trying to like put his arm around him and like Alec like walking away. Like those are all so cute that there's just like all those little interactions thrown in there. Oh, also on page 150, Simon refers to Magnus. He says that Magnus looks like a gay Sonic the Hedgehog, and that line had me laughing for like 20 minutes because where's the lie? Like it's kind of true. So funny. The Sealy Court scene was great. It was a longer chapter than I remembered, so I didn't end up reading all of it the night I said I was going to. I ended up reading like some of it, and then I was tired, and then I read the rest of it like the next day or the next night or whatever. It was great. I loved it. Really enjoyed it. That was just like the original angst scene, you know? Just like showed me what angst was, I guess. I don't know. Really good scene. I stopped pretty much after that because right after that is the Simon vampire debacle, and then that's pretty much where I am now. I don't have too many thoughts, like other thoughts than that, because I said some of them already and I'm only halfway through, and this is a book that is not slower, like it is slower, but it's slower in a good way, where like you kind of just get to like, you're almost like Clary, where like in the first book you're like stumbling around, and then in the second book you kind of get to find your footing a little bit and like get like acquainted with this world. That's kind of the vibes. So I will update more when I have read more and have more to say. I'm really enjoying this readathon still. This reread still, so it's satisfying. Hey everyone, so I finished City of Ashes last night. I gotta figure out where I left off in this video when I was talking about it last time. I know I had left off kind of right when Simon became a vampire, and then the whole Luke's house with Maya happened. I'm pretty sure that was like what happened right after that. The Luke's house, the whole scene of that is so cute because we've got like pretty much all the characters interacting except for Izzy. Honestly, there's not enough Izzy in this book for me, is kind of what I noticed. Like there's like all these scenes where it's like Magnus, Alec, Jace, Clary, Simon, Maya, and Luke, and then Izzy's just like at the institute with Max, which like that's fine, but I just like didn't realize that she was kind of left out of this book a little bit. When they're at Luke's house and they're healing Maya, and then they see the demons, and the demons run away from Clary. I totally forgot about that. I think her mother gave her like a protection rune, if I understand correctly. I completely forgot about that though, but that is quite a handy little rune. And then we have the whole bit with Jace where he says that like basically outs Magnus and Alec's relationship and outs Alec like in front of not everyone but like the gang, like the whole room, and then he like doesn't know what he did wrong, and I'm like, really, Jace? Like, really? And then Magnus is like so sweet because he just lets Alec like kind of deny it, even though that like hurts him, because he really just like wants what's best for Alec and loves Alec, and I just think that is the most precious thing ever. Then we also have the whole section with the fearless rune. I completely forgot that was a thing, and then I was reading it, and when they said that she should create a rune for fearlessness, I was like, oh my god, I totally remember this. And I totally remember like Alec being the one to test it, and then he like almost comes out to his family, tells them that he's gay and dating Magnus, a warlock. So that part is just so cute though, and then Magnus like knocks him out with his magic to keep him from saying something he would regret, which also just proves how much he loves Alec, because even though it would probably make Magnus happy for Alec to like be honest about who he is and like not hide from his family, he still like does what's best for Alec. I'm just like, that is just so freaking cute. Didn't think the Malik could get better, but it gets better in the second half. There's more scenes in the second half, and I was so happy. So while we're on the topic of Malik, because I'm not really like going in order, I guess, I didn't realize that the whole like give me your strength, like take whatever you need, was in this book. I thought it was in City of Glass for some reason, so I literally flipped out when he said that. I was like, oh my god, it's happening now? Like, oh, so cute, so iconic, it's just freaking adorable. I literally love it. Also, when the Inquisitor like arrests Jace and Alec is like, he betrayed us, it's fine, arrest him, and everyone was so quick to like think that Alec would betray Jace. I was literally sitting there, I was like, I know Alec is not betraying Jace, and I know my boy has got something up his sleeve, because it's smarter to play along, because then he can help Jace more in the long run. And that's exactly what he was doing. Like, what a king. I knew that I liked him for a reason. And then he's like, he's like, you should have had more faith in me. And I'm like, yeah, you should have. That's his parabatai. No offense, but he loves Jace probably more than anyone. Well, maybe not more than Clary. I don't know. Probably more than Clary, though. It's like, he loves Jace the most. Obviously, he's going to stand by him. Like, that's his parabatai. Let me know. Oh, the amount of Lightwood family interaction in this book is awesome. I didn't remember that, but then you have, like, when Alec kind of breaks Jace out of the Malachi configuration, and then takes him to Izzy's room, and you have, like, Alec, Jace, Izzy, and Max, and their, like, cute little interaction, and then you have the whole, like, kind of Lightwood family in the library, and Alec and Izzy and their parents, like, suiting up with their weapons and being all badass and, like, going to fight something together. Like, that was so badass. I wish they had put, like, a scene like that in the show where, like, the four of them were going to, like, a battle together to go, like, fight together, because having just, like, one scene like that would have been really cool to see on screen, because reading it, I was like, this family's a badass. I totally see why the Lightwoods are, like, literally royalty, basically. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. They're, like, the Kennedys, as they say. They were like, we're gonna go get this done, Imogen, sit down. And Maris in this book is literally a savage. She's like, this is my institute, sit down, Imogen, I'm taking over, I'm giving the orders, my turn, you have ruined this, so screw you. I love it. I keep, like, thinking that some of the things that happen in this book, I knew this was gonna happen to me. I thought they, like, happened in City of Glass, like the whole scene with Simon and Jace on the ship when Jace, like, lets Simon, like, suck his blood so that he can survive. Totally, for some reason, thought that that was in City of Glass, even though it wouldn't make sense for it to be in City of Glass, because Simon becomes a daylighter, and he would have had to be a daylighter to participate in City of Glass, if that makes sense. So I don't know why I thought that that was in City of Glass. I just did. So when that happened in this book, I was kind of shocked. Also, I love that scene. Like, the Simon and Jace relationship, I can't even say it's underrated, because it's not underrated. It's just great, though. Like, their friendship, and, like, their reluctant friendship, I should say, is just, like, literally awesome. Like, I love it so much. Also, I completely forgot that Alec gets, like, yeeted off of the boat by, like, this big-ass demon, and then Magnus saves him. First of all, when Alec got yeeted off, I was, like, not panicking, because I knew he was going to be okay, but, like, I forgot that happened completely. And then, of course, Magnus saves him, and he's like, I didn't want you to drown. I'm like, that is so cute. And then he has to, like, spell it out for Alec, because Alec is like, thanks for helping, you didn't have to. Because he asks Magnus, like, he's like, can't you, like, get me back on the ship, blah, 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 and he's being, like, kind of ungrateful. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I'm just, like, stressed and want to join the fight, and I know you don't have to help with things. And Magnus is like, why do you think I'm doing this? It's because I care about you. Like, he has to, like, spell it out for Alec, because poor Alec is just, like, so not used to people caring about him, and him being, like, I feel like the first choice, because he's been, like, kind of in Jace's shadow for so long, and also this is, like, his first relationship, so he's, like, does not know how to handle himself. But I thought that's so cute that Magnus, like, spells it out for him. Also, Magnus is just so patient with Alec, which is just, like, really sweet. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna sit here, explain this to you, let you figure it out for yourself. And then Alec being like, take my strength, is, like, the first moment, I feel like, when Alec, like, gives something back to Magnus, if that makes sense. Like, this is, like, and I remember, like, reading this again, because of course I remember this scene, but it's like, reading it again, I remember why it's so iconic and such a big deal. Not just because it's cute, because it is cute, but also because it's kind of the first time that Alec is like, you're part of this, I'm gonna fight with you, like, take my strength, I'm gonna give you something back. Instead of just expecting, like, Magnus to be invincible and, like, fix everything, he's like, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna give you something back. This is, like, partnership, kind of. Like, I know he's not exactly there yet, but it's kind of almost the first time that he's like, we're partners, like, I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna, like, be by your side. So that's why it's, like, such a special moment, because I think even Magnus is a little shocked that it's, like, kind of when Alec is, like, coming around in a way, because, yeah, he obviously likes Magnus, but I feel like this is him, like, acknowledging Magnus as an equal, which is, like, not that he looked down on him before, but I think acknowledging him as, like, an equal and a partner and someone that he can rely on is such an important step for them in their relationship and in Alec's journey to kind of, like, accept himself, and obviously with the fearless rune, like, he goes to come out to his parents because he's not afraid of that anymore, so obviously, like, that's what he's afraid of, and this is, like, the first step in him almost, like, conquering his fear, if that makes sense. So I remember, like, why that moment is just so beautiful. Oh, also, underrated quote, but at the end, when Valentine is like, this is after Jace has saved Simon, and Valentine is like saying that he's like a revenant and a degenerate and he's going to hell basically, and Jace is like, he's a vampire, that's true, but his name is Simon. I literally was gasped, and I was like, aw, because it's like, through the whole thing, Jace like never calls him Simon, like never uses his name, because he's like, if I learned your name, that would mean I care, and I don't care. And it's like, he finally calls him Simon, so it's like, aw, he cares. Just like the Jaimin friendship feels are so freaking cute. Like, that is one of the relationships in here that I like absolutely love. It's just adorable. I have 2 more things to say. One, I forgot that Imogen died. Don't know how I forgot that, I just did. And I remember now, when I was watching the show, why the scene in the show with Jace and Imogen makes me cry when she tells him that he's like a Herondale and like gives him the ring and stuff, is because I remember wishing that he would have gotten something like that in the books, because when he finally finds out his parentage and who his family is and where he really came from, it's like family's already dead, the rest of it. So I loved that in the show they actually let him kind of like have that moment with his grandmother. I like thought that was so cute. But I forgot she died, and then I remembered. Well, then I read it and I was like, oh my god, yeah, that totally makes sense. And like the fact that reading this book again, because obviously when I read it the first time I did not know that Jace was a Herondale or her grandson, so when I read it this time, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cried a little bit, because the fact that she like jumps in front of him and sacrifices herself for him, because that's her grandson, and then she like dies with a smile on her face because she knows that like her family is alive and is like gonna continue, and like she kind of got to like have that moment of peace where she like realized and met him and got like a piece of her son back. It's just so tragic but also so beautiful at the same time. And lastly, I have absolutely no memory of this Madeline, what even is her name? Madeline Bellefleur character that is supposedly gonna wake up Jocelyn. Who is this woman's? I literally googled it because I was like, who is this? Like, I was like, is this a fake character? Is this like someone in disguise? Because I have absolutely no memory of this one character, like, that supposedly is gonna wake up Jocelyn. And you think if she did something, or at least tell Clary how to wake up Jocelyn, I was like, you think I would remember her, but maybe she's like only in like that one scene and maybe another scene, and then she never comes in again, because I have no memory of her. Like, the name doesn't even sound familiar. I have no memory of that scene at all. So I'm kind of intrigued to dive into City of Glass. 1, because it's the best one in the series. Like, am I wrong? No, I'm not. And 2, because I want to see who this woman is. It's all done. I have many a sticky tabs, because I just can't help it. Like, and I was even trying to make an effort to not sticky, because I found myself wanting to like sticky multiple stickies on the same page, and I'm like, okay, if I already have a sticky on this page, I don't really need a second sticky, because the sticky is just so I can flip to the page, and obviously when I flip to the page, I'm gonna find it. So I had to resist, and I still have so many stickies in here. Now, City of Glass prediction, because this is kind of fun for me to see how wrong I am. Also, why did I think Camille came in City of Ashes? Because she was not in it at all. So is she gonna come in City of Glass, or is she just a menace that we don't have to deal with until City of Fallen Angels? Maybe she comes in City of Fallen Angels in the beginning. Why do I feel like the first scene in City of Fallen Angels is like Camille and Simon and that Maureen, the little girl? Oh, I can't remember. I remember Maureen though, obviously. So I don't know if that's in City of Glass at all though. So I was really wrong about that. Everything else though that I said happened in City of Ashes that I like remembered, I was right about. which I'm kind of proud of myself. The table, even the scene where Clary jumps on the table happened at Luke's house, and I was like, oh my god, this is the scene. And even Jace comes in and looks at her on the table and I was like, well, what the hell are you doing? What is going on? Because I remember reading that and being like, this girl, like, what? Why is she on the table? Why? Was it necessary? You could have just walked over. You didn't need to jump on the table. You were right there. City of Glass. Obviously, I remember that is the whole battle with the Alliance rune and Idris and everything, and Malik has their like kiss in front of the whole clave because Alec's a king. I obviously remember that. I remember Sebastian comes in, obviously, and pretends, well, / Jonathan. I always just call him Sebastian because to me, like, his name is Sebastian even though he's Jonathan, if you know what I mean. But so Jonathan / Sebastian comes in, pretends to be Sebastian with her lack, gets them to trust him, everything. Oh, rip Max. I remember that Max dies. This is so tragic. I remember City of Glass really well because that's the best book. So that whole thing happens. I remember they go to Idris, obviously. I remember they wake up Jocelyn at the end. What else happens in this? I think Simon gets the Mark of Cain at the end, or does he not get that until City of Fallen Angels at the beginning? Because I can't remember, like, because I know she was going to make it a trilogy, so I'm trying to remember, like, I can't remember if she, like, left these things as a cliffhanger, or if she, like, completely had them come in City of Fallen Angels, but I'm going to say that's probably in City of Fallen Angels. Jace dies, how could I forget that? Clary raises the angel, uses her wish on Jace to bring him back. I remember that. Clary kills Valentine, I remember that too. They think they killed Sebastian, because she, like, pushes him off the boat, I think, or whatever, and then they didn't actually kill Sebastian, obviously, because he comes back and is the villain for the next 3. Jace and Clary find out they're not brother and sister, I remember that. I mean, I think that's a lot. That is, like, basically the whole plot of the book, so needless to say, I remember this book a lot. I remember it pretty well. It is the best book. I'd probably say City of Glass is the best, and then City of Bones is the second best just because it's the first one. So it's a classic, but I think City of Glass is agreed upon in this fandom as being the best book in the series because it's just awesome. So I'm very excited to read City of Glass. It's definitely bigger, so it probably will take me a little bit longer, but I'm just so excited because I'm having so much fun in this, like, reread and being back in this world and immersed in it, and it came at such a good time in my life because it is just all encompassing, and that is, like, kind of what I need right now. But I will be interested to see what happens in this book that I forgot, because I'm sure there's shit I left out that I just didn't remember, but I got most of the main things, I think. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and be sure to subscribe for more content. I will see you guys for the next video. Be sure to check out episode 3 where I read City of Glass. I'm so excited. Hope you are too. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Slowly kissing.